Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to study one of the most important and advanced group of plants in the plant kingdom, Angiosperms, also known as flowering plants. Angiosperms are the most dominant and widely distributed plants on earth. Almost all the plants we see around us, including trees, grasses, vegetables, fruits, and flowers, belong to this group. In this session, we will understand their characteristics, classification, structure of flowers, double fertilization, and life cycle in a clear and systematic way. So, let us begin. So, what are angiosperms? Angiosperms are flowering plants in which the ovules are enclosed inside an ovary, and after fertilization, the seeds are enclosed inside fruits. This is the main difference between angiosperms and gymnosperms. In gymnosperms, the seeds are naked, whereas in angiosperm, the seeds are protected within a fruit. Angiosperms are exponentially large in number and are found in almost every type of habitat. They range in size from very small plants like Wolfia, which are almost microscopic, to very large trees like eucalyptus that can grow up to 100 meters. They are economically very important because they provide us with food, fodder, fuel, medicines, timber, and many other commercially valuable products. Now let us understand classification of angiosperms. Angiosperms are divided into two major classes based on the number of cotyledons present in the seed. And what do you mean by cotyledons? Cotyledons are the first baby leaves of a plant, like they are the first leaves that comes out during seed germination. The first class in dicotyledons, commonly called as dicots. In dicots, the seed contains two cotyledons or two seed leaves. Example include pea, sunflower, and mango. What are dicotyledons? Dicotyledons are flowering plants whose seeds contain two cotyledons, which is two seed leaves. Di means two. The second class is monocotyledons. Mono means one, commonly called as monocots. In monocots, the seed contains only one cotyledon. Example include wheat, rice, and maize. Thus, the number of cotyledons Thus, the number of cotyledons in the primary basis of classification is angiosperms. Now, let us understand the structure of flower. The flower is reproductive organ of angiosperms. It contains both male and female reproductive structure. The male reproductive organ of the flower is called stamen. Each stamen consists of a slender stalk called the filament and a terminal structure called anther. Inside anther, meiosis takes place and pollen grains are produced. These pollen grains contain the male gametophyte. The female reproductive organ of the flower is called pistil or carpel. This pistil consists of three parts, which is stigma, style, and ovary. The stigma is the receptive surface of the pollen grains. This style is slender tube that connects the stigma to the ovary. The ovary contains one or more ovules. Inside each ovule, a highly reduced female gametophyte develops, which is known as the embryo sac. Now let us understand structure of the embryo sac. The embryo sac is haploid because it is formed after meiosis. Each embryo sac typically contains 7 cells and 8 nuclei. It has one egg cell and two synergids at one end. And what do you mean by synergids? So, synergids are two small cells present inside the embryo sac of a flowering plant. They help in guiding the pollen grains towards the egg for fertilization. So, these three cells together form the egg apertures. At the opposite end, three antipodal cells are present. In the center, two polar nuclei are present. Later, the two polar nuclei fuse to form a diploid secondary nucleus. This structure plays an important role during fertilization. Now, let us understand pollination. Pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma of a flower. This transfer may occur through various agents such as wind, water, insects, or plants. After reaching the stigma, the pollen grains germinate and form a pollen tube. This pollen tube grows through the tissue of the stigma and style and finally reaches the ovule. The tube enters the embryo sac, which releases two male gametes. Now let us understand double fertilization. Double fertilization is a unique feature of angiosperms. Inside the embryo sac, two fusion events occurs. In the first fusion, one male gamete fused with the egg cell to form a diploid zygote. This process is called syngamy. The second fusion, the other male gamete fuses with the two polar nuclei to form a triploid primary endosperm nucleus. This process is called triple fusion. Since two fusions occurs in the same embryo sac, the entire process is known as double fertilization. This phenomena is unique to angiosperms and is one of their most important characteristics. Now let us understand events after fertilization. After fertilization, several development changes takes place. The zygote develops into an embryo, the primary endosperm nucleus develops into endosperm, which provides nourishment to the developing embryo. Synergids and antipodal cells degenerate after fertilization. The ovule develops into a seed and the ovary develops into a fruit. This is how fruit formation takes place in angiosperms. Now let us understand life cycle of angiosperms. Angiosperms show alteration of generations. The dominant phase in angiosperms is the saprophytic generation, which is diploid. The entire flowering plant that we see is saprophyte. The gametophytic generation is highly reduced and dependent on the saprophyte. The pollen grain represents the male gametophyte and the embryo sac represents the female gametophyte. The life cycle involves the formation of spores through meiosis, development of gametophytes, pollination, double fertilization, and finally seed and fruit formation. Now let us revise quickly. Angiosperms are flowering plants with enclosed seeds. They are the most advanced and dominant group of plants. The flowers is their reproductive organ. Double fertilization is a unique feature of this flower. The saprophyte is the dominant phase in their life cycle. Understanding angiosperms is extremely important because they form the basics of the food supply and play a vital role in the maintaining ecological imbalance. Thank you for watching. If you understand the topic clearly, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the more detailed biological based concepts.